Okay, welcome back, Bobcats. Today we're going to talk about volume. As you can see there, volume, section 1. Let's get right into it. So volume, what do we already know about the word volume? What are things that take up volume? It's the amount of space inside something. A gallon of milk, a bathtub, a swimming pool, a glass of water. Those are all items that take up volume. Liquid inside a container. It's how much space is taken up by that liquid. That's our volume. So let's figure out, how do we find volume? So our steps, number 1, identify the base and length. Number 2, identify the width. Number 3, identify the height. And then we're going to multiply all those units. The base times the width times the height. Let's see what that's going to look like. Alright, so here's an example of a rectangular prism. So again, we need to identify the base, the width, and the height. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we're going to identify this base here first, our base is going to be here. So how many units is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say our base is 4. How about our width? What is our width? Well, our width is going to be identified here. And that's going to be 2 blocks back. That's how deep it is, the width. And then finally our height. Well, we're familiar with our height from when we found out about area. So our height is just how tall our item is. And again, that's 2 as well. 2 blocks high. So how do we go about finding the volume? So the volume is equal to the base times the height. We also multiply in the width. This is that important formula I'd like you to go ahead and put into your notes. Got to make sure you have this. Volume of a rectangular prism is base times height times width. We're dealing with a 3-dimensional figure now, so we're multiplying by 3 different numbers: base, width, and height. So if we're going to figure this out, we're going to multiply 4 times 2 times 2. Now, since we're multiplying, it does not matter the order in which we multiply. We can choose any 2 numbers and then multiply by whatever number we did not multiply by in the first step. So we can multiply 4 times 2, get 8. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So our answer would be 16. And this is where units are cubed. So we put a 3 on top. It is cubed units. Or if we write it out, 16 cubed units. Whereas it was 2-dimensional figure when we were finding area, it was squared. Now it's cubed. Cubed units. Base, width, height. Make sure you have this formula written. If you don't, pause the video, get that formula written. You're going to need that. All right, let's take a look at another example here. Again, finding the volume. The volume is equal to base times width times height. Actually, it doesn't matter the order, as long as we multiply all 3 numbers here. So our base from here to here is base is equal to 5. Our width, that's from here to here. How wide is it? That is 4. And our height, how tall is this? That's 3. So we're going to find the volume, base times height times width. Our volume is 5 times 3 times 4. And again, it doesn't matter the numbers in which you multiply. Order does not matter, just as long as you multiply all 3 numbers eventually. So let's just go ahead and multiply 5 times 3, get 15. 15 times 4, volume is equal to 60 cubic units. And again, we have that word cubic here because it is 3-dimensional. We're dealing with base, width, and height. So we're dealing with cubic units, 60 cubic units. All right, I think you guys are ready. Let's have you try this one. Go ahead and find the volume of this figure, pause the video, and then come back for the solution. All right, our solution, volume, base times height times width. So base, what do we get for our base? This number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our width, 1, 2, 3, 4. And our height, how tall is it? All the way up there at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we just have to simply multiply these together. Our volume is equal to 6 times 4 times 6. What are we going to multiply first? I think I'm going to multiply the 2 6's together first. Again, it doesn't matter the order. So my volume would be 36 times 4, which is left over. 36 times 4. My volume would be equal to, where am I going to do that? Let's do that up here. 36 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. So it would be 144 cubic units. So if we were to take all those units and push them over and count them all, we get 144. This number right here. Y'all get that? I hope so. All right, let's try another one. Now they have given us the unit of measure is meters. Find the volume for this figure. Pause the video. Come back for the answer. Okay, let's figure out what we got here. Base, that's 12. Width, that's 16. How tall it is at height, that's 5. All right, so what are we going to multiply by first here? So if we're going to find this volume, 12 times 16 times 5, I think I'm going to multiply the 12 times the 5. I'm going to multiply these two numbers. 12 times 5 I know is equal to 60. I only can multiply 60 times 16. I'll do that right up here. 16 times 60. Because I have that friendly 0 there, I can just put the 0 down and multiply by the 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 plus 3 is 9, so we have 960. So our volume is equal to 960, and our unit of measure is meters. So it's 960 meters cubed. 960 meters cubed. Y'all get that one? That one was complicated. There's a lot of moving parts on that one. Hopefully, if you missed it, you saw why you missed it. All right, let's try another one. All right, I'm going to skip past that one. I'm going to do this one. So sometimes they're going to give you the measure of the base. Let me get a pen here. So you can see here where they have given, notice that B is capitalized. So they're talking about this base. We're talking about all of this area on the bottom here. This entire base is equal to 24 feet. Notice that it is squared. So what they've done is they've already done part of this for you. They've multiplied 4 times 6, which is equal to that 24 square feet. Only thing we're left to do is we need to take this 24 square feet and multiply it by the height, which is 12 feet. And we can do that. We can take this 24 and multiply it by 12. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Add these together, we get 288. So our volume is 288 cubic feet. 24 times 12 is 288 cubic feet. All right. And that's going to happen sometimes where they're going to give you the area of the base, the big base. Which is kind of nice because it saves you work. All right, I would like you to solve number 3 for me, please. Pause the video, solve number 3, and let's come back for the answer. The volume is equal to 3 inches times 2 inches times 4 inches. And again, the order doesn't matter what you multiply. These are all nice, friendly, small numbers, so it doesn't really matter. Our volume is going to be equal to 3 times 2, which is 6. 6 times 4 is equal to 24. So our volume is equal to 24 inches. How many do we have? We have 3 of them up here. Inches, inches, inches. 24 inches cubed. Just like that. 24 cubic inches. All right. Would like you guys to solve number 7 and number 8. Pause the video. Solve those 2 for the volume. They've given you the big base. Figure out what the entire volume of the container is. Come back for the solution. All right, for number 7, your solution. You are taking 108, multiplying it by the 9. So we have 108, multiplying it by 9. 72, 7, 9. 972 centimeters cubed is our answer. Y'all get that one? I hope. And for number 8, again, we're taking this base, multiplying it by the height. So we have 90 times 11, 0, 9. 0, 0, 9. Answer is 990. So our volume is 990 feet cubed. All right. Those are the ways we're going to find volume today. Base times width times height, or if they've given you the complete base, you're multiplying that by the height. All right, go ahead and solve this. Pause the video, solve it, come back for the answer. Okay, let's solve this thing. So it says, find the volume of the Frog Queen building in Graz, Austria. The building is 18 meters long, 17 meters tall, and 18 meters wide. So how much space is inside? It's a pretty tall building. So our volume is going to be equal to 18 meters times 17 meters times 18 meters. So we don't really have any friendly numbers here. Just go ahead and pick two of the numbers. I'm just going to pick these. They're right next to one another. 18 times 17. 56. 7 and 5 is 12. Put our 0. 8 and 1. 8. And 308. That's just the base. Now I still have to multiply this by this 18. So let's find some room here. I guess I'll do it right here. 308 times 18. 8 times 8 is 64. That gives me 6. That gives me 24. Put our 0 down. Multiply by the 1. We got 8. We got a 0. We got a 3. Add these together. Answer is 4. 14, 5, and 6. So our volume is equal to 6,544. Our unit of measure is meters cubed. Woo! Give yourself a hand if you got that one. That was a lot of multiplying, wasn't it? Okay, turn to your neighbor. Don't have a neighbor? Say it out loud. Use the sentence stem. In summary, today I learned, what did we learn about? What did you learn about? Hopefully we learned about volume, base, times width, times height. Multiply those three numbers together. This is a three-dimensional figure. We get volume. That's what we talked about today. All right. Until next time. Have a good one, Bobcats.